Welcome, everybody, back to Hiveswap Friendsim Simulator. My name is Brodemus. Oh, boy, am I heated. I just finished recording this episode. I'm excited again because I am heated. I am so fucking mad. So we're just gonna do it again. It's fucking same problem I ran into last week with Doki Doki Literature Club. I hope y'all enjoyed Doki Doki Literature Club, because we're gonna have the same fucking problems with Friendsim now. So we're gonna go on to volume 17. I'm gonna go right into it now because I know what to do now, and I played through all the fucking endings. So it's not gonna be as blind anymore for Deraya. It's not gonna be blind anymore. So we're gonna go into volume 17 of Teen in Tech, Acerbic. I have no idea what the fucking word means. Ah, yes, this is it, fellas. Another night of laughter and camaraderie. Another night of joy and communion with some totally normal teens who would never, just kidding. Just kidding, idiot. You are still on Alternia. You just know one of these miserable chucklefucks is around here somewhere, waiting for the exact right moment to inundate you with another disgusting dose of friendship. Who is going to be the author of your destruction on this accursed evening? Deraya Jonjet or Nikki Mula? Well, we're gonna go with Deraya. We're gonna go through Deraya again for the second time today. I already know what fucking happens. It's not gonna be blind anymore. I fucking hate not going in blind. I was tempted to go to Nikki. I started to go to Nikki, let it wait for a week, and then do Deraya again. Still tempted to do that, but I'm not going to. I'm going to do Deraya. I'm going to keep it in order, keep the tradition going. So let's get into it. Your feet drag as you walk, every limb heavy and slow, and your thoughts are cloudy and dull. Your palm husk is filled with unanswered texts. You feel guilty about this in the back of your mind, where real feelings live crammed together because the front of your mind is too busy being lethargic and numb. Being a bad friend goes against the core tenets of your beliefs, but answering texts seems like too much effort, and I know that all too heartily. I'm terrible at answering texts. You're not sure where this particular malaise came from, just that the usual friend-making animus that drives you is still there, but it doesn't feel strong enough to overcome how tired you are of everything else. You can't quite remember how it felt to care that much about companionship or camaraderie. I can. Marvis. Not that long ago, actually. In fact, right now, you can't remember how it felt to care about much of anything. Again, Marvis. Your thoughts drift to fantasies of driving your car to the uninhabited Alternian desert until you run out of fuel, or perhaps letting the sun have its way with you. It could be part of that feeling that you've almost made all the friends there are to make. A little bit of meta-knowledge there. And that there's little left for you to do on this planet. It could be weeks of trauma catching up and singing you into depression to protect you from thinking about it all. Capitalized for some reason. Either way, it just feels like so much effort to do anything. And you'd sort of welcome oblivion if it showed up right now to offer its sweet embrace. Your listless walking has taken you into a familiar neighborhood. Ah, the cerulean part of town. You smile as you reminisce, sweet memories peeking through like the beams of sunlight through the fog of your apathy. Not far from here is Malik's Hive, with all of its hacking equipment and charming upper-middle-class atmosphere of entitlement and complacence mixed with vaguely socially aware concern. And though you've only seen pictures of it on Chitter, you know that Ramel's hipster art studio Hive is also in this neighborhood. And one block over is Ardada's place, which gave you gruesome... your gruesome and troubling introduction to Alternian social mores. One taught you love, one taught you patience, one taught you pain, or something like that. I'm a fan. Also, that was pointed out, looked like Tavros in the background there. It's probably not Tavros. I don't think it's Tavros. It's too early for it to be Tavros, but the horns are similar, and the little, mohawk thing that they gave him. The hive you're closest to is actually Elward's, and as you shamble closer, you realize that a lot of other trolls seem to be converging here too. Fishing out your palm musk, you see that the unread message from Elward is an invitation to a party at her place. Oh. Looking around you, you feel a flame of your old desire to meet and greet rekindling in your heart. There are plenty of trolls here you haven't met yet, plenty of opportunities for friendship. The now roaring fire in your belly, and now I got a fire in my belly, feels a little artificial, like someone just injected you with friend-making hormones to flood out your regular human melancholy. But you're not going to complain because this is vastly preferable. As you're walking briskly towards Elward's hive, you spot a troll lurking in the shadows by Elward's back door. Curious, you approach, and when you get closer, you can spot the jade green in her outfit. Although there's not much of her blood color in comparison to what most other trolls seem to sport, because she's mostly wearing black. And spikes. And black spikes. Alright, so last time I gave Deraya a voice, because he reminds me of Daraya. It's the name. That's really the only reason why. But just that bored, it's you. kind of a thing. Guess it makes sense you'd be here. You're probably friends with Elward, huh? Whatever. Yeah, you're friends with Elward, but you didn't come here for the party. You're just in the neighborhood. You try to mimic Daraya's disaffected slouch. It's not hard, as you can just channel the you from about 60 seconds ago, who was very disaffected indeed. From the approving arch of Daraya's eyebrow, you think you're doing a pretty good job. Yeah, parties are lame. Most parties are, anyway. This one might be cool. Elward's pretty cool. I mean, she seems alright. I didn't think she's that cool. I just think her hair and clothes and personality don't completely suck at all. You tactfully don't comment on the green blush in Daraya's cheeks when she's talking about Elward, nor the way she keeps glancing at the door like she's hoping someone will invite her in. She's clearly trying to sneak into this party and doesn't have an invite. When a branch snaps in the bushes, Deraya startles and looks around, shiftily. You wonder if she's supposed to be out on her own this far from the caverns at all. I'm not a baby like Wanshi. So what if I snuck out? The cloister rules are so lame. Bronya is so lame. I can't believe Elward used to hang out with her, but I guess if she hadn't befriended Bronya, then I never would have met her. It's hard to meet non-Jade Bloods in the caverns. All the time you're underground with nothing but Lucai and grubs and the same stupid Jades every day. It sucks down there. Daraya's imitation grubhorn bracelets clunk as she folds her arms over her chest. Her heavy makeup makes it look like her eyes are twin black holes, where all sense of fun and caring about things might go to die. She's giving about you a marked contrast from how Bronya talked about the caverns, with the peace and quiet and safety that they offered compared to Alternia's surface. And other than that time Lynera nearly killed you in a cave, and that time you were nearly trampled by a rampaging Lucis, you remember liking the caverns. Oh, I love me a good, dank, moist cavern. Pfft, you would think like that. Don't know why I thought you might be cool. You might be friends with Elward, but you're also friends with, Bronya and Lynera. They're the two most boring trolls on this planet. You can't help but feel slightly defensive of your friends. Sure, Lynera is Lynera, but you wouldn't call her boring, not by any stretch of the imagination. She held a knife to my throat and pointed it at my face. And Bronya is very fond of rules. It's true, but she can hang. She can be cool. Ugh, whatever. This conversation is dumb. I don't care if you can get me in it, or I don't care if you can't get me into this party. Nothing matters anyway. Just make your stupid choice and get on with it. I love the meta joke there. I'm just like, just make your choice. I know what you do. Fuck it. I don't care. Suggestion goes home. This is the bad one. Thinking about the Jade Blood Caverns has got you really missing them. The quiet monotony, the cute little grubs, the dank air and darkness. You can't think of a better place to lie down and have a depression nap. Perhaps even a depression coma. Just lay down for 5 to 17 days. Let me just make the same jokes I made the last fucking time I recorded this. So you straighten up out of your slouch and tell Deraya that regardless of her opinion on Bronya and how cool or lame she is, those cloister rules probably exist for a reason, right? Maybe the two of you can go back to the caverns together. Gonna go full dad mode this episode. Fine, be a goody two-strut pod encasements. I'm gonna go somewhere where it's not so lame. There it is, I'm lame. Good shit. Alright. Let's get on to the long bad ending now. Oh man, the long bad ending's a doozy too. It gets real fucking weird. It gets there. It really gets there. Alright, let's just blast through this. Come on, there we go. Alright, party hard, Garth. What the hell? It's not your job to keep anyone in line, and it's not like you have a great understanding of why even the older Jade Bloods need to stay underground anyway. If Deraya wants to sneak into parties and get into trouble, who are you to say no? Deraya expresses no pleasure at your decision to get her into the party. She just shrugs and rolls her eyes. You shrug and roll your eyes back. You can play the role of disaffected with the best of them. I can't, actually. I'm really bad at it. You take her around to the front door. Hey, you're looking forward to seeing Elward again. When you met her, you didn't have nearly as many friends as you do now, and in retrospect, you know how you came off as kind of sycophantic. Wouldn't it be great if you could introduce Elward to the new, popular, and knowledgeable you? As you're walking up the steps, a huge shadow dwarfs yours. You look up to see Chahut, of all trolls, grinning above you. Hang on. There's a plane going overhead, real fucking low, too, apparently. Go on. Move it along. There you go.
Well, hey, little one. I remember you. And who is this new little one you've got with you?
Chahut switches her interest from you to Deraya, grinning down at her. Deraya isn't huge for a Jade Blood or anything, but she seems absurdly tiny with Chahut looming down at her like that. Her face remains impassive and bored, but she scuffs one of her big black boots on the ground and twists one of her spiky bracelets around on her wrist.
Cute. Don't see many little jades outside of the caverns. I've always found greenies fascinating. So devoted to the continuation of the species. What a holy mission.
Chahut moves slow and lazily, like she has all the time in the world and no conceivable reason to rush, and reaches out to pat Daraya's shoulder. She lets her hand linger, one claw resting against Daraya's neck.
Ain't it a dangerous proposition to be so far away from your green brothers and sisters? Unless you're hiding something in those pretty veins.
A slimy chill runs down your spine. Deraya seems frozen to the spot, staring straight ahead at Jehud's bosom in front of her. You think Jehud is joking, but it can be hard to tell with clowns. Their humor is just so much more highbrow than everyone else's. Highbrow is a word. It is in the dictionary.
Just joking. This looks like a good party, even if Elwood is too blasphemous for my taste sometimes. See both of you little ones inside.
And then she ambles away, bending down to duck inside the doorway to the party. You hear party sounds. Oh, and not hear a party sound, you hear multiple party sounds. A plethora, a cornucopia of party sounds if it were. Music and laughter and clinking drinks and that what could be the sound of someone being murdered, which qualifies as party noise on this planet, to be fair. Then the door swings shut again, and you and Deraya look at each other. Daraya's heavy makeup can make it hard to read her expression, but you can still tell that she's rattled.
You know what? It looks like this party is filled with lame conformers. All these high bloods that buy into the system and do what they're told, even Elwood. We can find something better to do somewhere else.
Yeah, to hell with this party. You're down to find your own fun, especially if that means not putting Deraya in the way of potentially murder-happy clowns. I'm on it. As you saunter away from the party, you realize that Deraya is looking at you expectantly.
Well, you've got this reputation for being all unconventional and weird and rebellious. Everyone seems to think that you're, totally fucking with the conventions of society or whatever. So you got any suggestions for cool shit to do?
God, you've sure felt a lot of pressure to be quirky since word has spread about your manic pixie dream alien ways. It's not like you're trying to be a vehicle for chaos, for other characters to project onto. Assisting in character growth and insight for those around you, while your impulse decisions and carefree ways somehow keep yourself stagnant and forever unchanged. It just seems to sometimes be like that. Sometimes it be like that. Anyway, you're tired, and it's daunting to have a punk teen expecting you to come up with suggestions for cool stuff. You have a feeling she's just going to shoot down whatever you suggest. You rack your brain, trying to think of anywhere from your many adventures that Deraya might like. Your think pan comes up with zilch and squat, and she's starting to look bored with you. I mean, she's a teenager. That's to be expected. Confessing that you can't think of anything is probably an option if you want Deraya to be your friend, and as exhausted and disillusioned as you feel with your socialite routine, you like her and you want to bond. Don't know, what do you want to do? This is the bad ending. I already know the fucking... I know the choice I need to make to get to the bad and good endings. Which is why I was thinking about doing Nikki. Because I wanted to have myself a week, but fucking it, we're going with it. Doing it live, we're not. You tell Deraya that you have no idea for cool things to do because everything on this planet is lame. But she's from here, doesn't she know of any non-lame places to go? I told you, I'm stuck underground all the time. It's not my fault that I'm literally sheltered and never get to do anything fun. Oops, maybe this was the wrong approach. She seems pissed at you, but then Deraya sighs loudly and uncrosses her arms from her chest. I do know of one place that's pretty alright, I guess. Better than here, anyway. It's far, though. Not a problem, you've got wheels that I totally obtained legally. You were walking around the neighborhood because, well, you felt lifeless and glum in your car needs alien fuel, which you've been reluctant to ask someone how to get because you don't want to be told it runs on grub grease or something like that. But now you have purpose again. I'm filled with determination, and you're more than willing to provide transport in service of your new friendship goal. You take Deraya to your car parked a few blocks away, and she directs you where to go. You drive through neighborhood after neighborhood, the yellow blood slums where you met Follicle and Cuprum, the busy urban sector where you had adventures with Tagora, and the austere indigo blood enclave where Galactives. I also noticed that there's the little murder ball, thing right there, the thing that Zephyros was super into. Eventually the buildings get sparse, and you think about how you were yearning to drive out into the barren landscape and not die maybe, but stop. Just let it all end. You don't think Deraya would take you all the way out here just for you both to meet sweet oblivion, but who knows, trolls can be kind of hard to predict. Excuse me. Just when you think you're out, they drag you back in again. Just when you think you've reached a point where there can't be any more city or suburbs left, a rubble of massive old buildings comes into view. It looks almost like a miniature version of the main Alternian city that you're used to, except it's all abandoned and mostly ruined. Nothing around here looks inhabitable. And rumor has it that some of the trolls who lived here pissed off the Condess, so she called this whole town. That would have been way back in the day. It's ancient history now. If there were any survivors, I guess they'd either be dead or up in space. Anyway, all these old buildings are kind of sick. There's never anyone else here, and I'm into that. Fair point, fair enough. You drive until she tells you to stop in front of a huge crumbling building, and even though this thing is half gone, you can still tell it's a mall. It seems a bit different from the mall you visited with Polypa, even aside from the fact that it's totally dark and there's no one inside it. It seems more old-fashioned, a lot more like one of your familiar Earth malls. Ooh, my Earth malls. Every dystopian movie you've ever seen has taught you to be extremely wary of abandoned malls, and you feel pretty nervous as Deraya takes you up the rickety, frozen escalator. It's so dark you can barely see your head in front of your face, but trolls have dark vision, so they don't give a shit. You're trying not to show your fear because you don't want to look like a wuss in front of Deraya. But you can't hold back a whimper when your foot lands on a step that makes a distinctive about-to-collapse noise. Don't be scared. It's okay, I've climbed all over this place 1,000 times. Anything that isn't already disintegrated is sturdy enough. And there's no risk of calling at her because, well, everyone's already been called. She's gentler towards you than you would have expected, given her cynical and spiky demeanor. You swallow your fear as you reach the top of the escalator and tell her that that's chill, I'm cool, we're good. I'm totally not afraid, totally not having to change my pants. You just have some horror movie associations. Deraya turns and pats you stiffly on the arm. You would never tell her this, but her reassuring manner once she's noticed someone is in distress kind of reminds you of Bronya. It's worth it when you get to the cool part. Come on. Shit continues to be dark for a while, as it tends to do. Though you see some light up ahead, as you get closer, the hall opens up into a food court, and you see that the light is moonlight shining through the mostly absent roof. And Deraya is right. There is something extremely surreal and cool about a decrepit, empty food court with the roof caved in. Rubble sits atop cafeteria tables, and plastic food trays are scattered on the floor, and okay, that might be the remains of a troll skeleton still wearing a mostly disintegrated fast food uniform, which is less cool, makes you remember that this place is abandoned because the Conda sent drones to murder everyone. Kind of to be expected. You want to know the weirdest thing about this mall? That I just spat everywhere, maybe? It seems like actual adults used to maybe work here. I've gone through a lot of the stores, and some of them are for adult-sized things. And there's a store for just, like, shit the drones bring you now. There's army supplies for going off-world, too. Yeah, this mall is for adults, and it must be really fucking ancient. Which is weird, because it's like, the last time adults were on this planet would have been, like, during the Summoners time, right? Summoner, Marquis, and all them. Would that been the last time that adults were on Alternia? I don't remember. Jeez, has it really been that long since there were any adults on this planet? Even after all your time on Alternia, that still kind of freaks you out. What must that be like, to grow up entirely without adults? To live on a planet that's nothing but kids? Deraya gives you a weird look. What would it even be like to have adults down here, too? That sounds way more dangerous than stupid. It's not like we're all wigglers. Trolls have to grow out of that mindset pretty fast. People have responsibilities or whatever the fuck, or at least they pretend to. And there's training and stuff. For Jades, we're basically trapped. Maybe you think that a planet of kids would mean you can do whatever you want, but I've never had any freedom. And I'll have even less as an adult. Cloistered Jades aren't even allowed to join the Imperial Army. Instead, we get shipped off to live in isolation. We're forbidden to contribute genetic material to the slurry, and no bailing is allowed once we mature. For some, I don't know, bullshit, old-fashioned reason that I pretty much don't understand at all. On Alternia, your whole future's decided the second you're hatched. People tell me all the time that I have it lucky as a Jade blood, but I don't feel lucky at all. Oof, yeah. You agree with Deraya that the future she describes sounds bleak as hell, which is weird that they don't let Jades procreate. It's kind of that's a note that I must have missed somewhere. Right? It's going to fucking suck. And it's so shitty to have it that I have it good. I mean, at least I don't have certain early death in my future, unlike a lot of low bloods. The system is so fucked up, and it's never gonna get changed, and I hate it here. I just want a way out of it. Oh, there's a lot of up triangles here. Maybe when you go back to your home planet, you take me with you? The request comes out of left field. Oof. And for a few seconds, it hit me last time too. You just blink at her stupidly. Even with all that angry black makeup around her eyes, she just looks so sad. Sad and lost. You wish you had a different answer to give her, but you tell her that you can't take her back to your planet because you don't know how, when, or if you're ever going home. You've been trying not to contemplate the future because on the rare occasions that you do let yourself think about it, existential dread tends to take over. Dread. Yeah, that's the word for it. The older I get, the more I realize how shitty things are. I try not to think about it, just like you. But it still hits home sometimes. And when it does, I don't feel like angry or rebellious. Instead, I feel completely fucking paralyzed. This, too, is a familiar emotion to you. You feel for Deraya, who has wandered over to the middle of the food court and is staring up to the cave-in at the moons. She has her arms wrapped around her middle, and the spiky jewelry and jagged haircut and big black boots don't do anything to make her look less small. You wish you knew what to say to make her feel better. You've done a decent job at cheering up dejected trolls in the past, but it's hard when you're feeling so crappy about your own situation. You mutter something about how things could still get better, you never know what the future holds, yada yada yada, and she looks at you like she just knows just how hollow your words are. Like I said earlier, full on dad mode. Ugh, you sound just like Bronya. Next, you're gonna tell me how important Jade Bloods are and what an honor all this responsibility is? Give me a break. Optimism is for chumps and losers. Keeping grubs safe doesn't matter. The continuation of our species doesn't matter. Nothing any of us do fucking matters. You feel your blood getting hot to match the steel that's now in her voice. A sick part of you finds this train of thought a lot more viscerally satisfying than trying to cheer her up, which wasn't working anyway. You stamp your feet and so does she. I can't believe anyone bothers trying to carve out a real life on this worthless shithole of a planet. There's no point, we might as well all be culled. In the back of your mind, you know you should be disagreeing with some of this, but you're too worked up to care. Maybe Daraya's right, maybe nothing matters. That's fucking right. Maybe I should just quit. You falter in your righteous fury. Maybe quitting is going a bit far. Hang on, let's set the brakes for a second here, Deraya. Maybe the Highbloods that go around causing death and destruction just because they can have the... maybe because they can't have the right idea. This is starting not to sound so great. What doesn't sound great about it? Who cares if I decide I don't want to be a caretaker and instead I just burn shit down for fun? There's no point in anything, so what does it matter? Who cares? Daraya's hands are balled into fists and her teeth are bared as she glares at you. You open your mouth, maybe to tell her that you care, even though that would probably sound trite, but no words come out. A little afraid. She scoffs and turns away from you and jumps up on a crumbly-looking cafeteria table. You know what? Fuck this. Friendship is as pointless as everything else. Hang on, my whole existence for friendship. My whole existence, my life, my inner cosmos revolves around that, as the bright center of my universe. She picks up one of the chairs, and you really need to stop being surprised at the strength of even the scrawny-looking trolls, and hurls it at the nearest fast food stall. You thought it was just a random throw at first, but it appears that she was aiming with precision because it crashes into a tank of fuel connected to the oven. You're not sure how Eternian cooking technology works, but the stall explodes in a huge green-tinged fireball that knocks you on your ass. Fucking terrifying. You watch in horror from your ass-level vantage point as the flames lick into the restaurants on either side, explosions happening around the food court like dominoes. Deraya stands on her table in the middle of it, unmoving, even as fire threatens to envelop her. This is probably the only place I actually like on this whole planet. So good riddance. If it's gone, one less thing to care about. With all the dust and debris, the mall is coming down fast around you. You desperately want to get Deraya out of here, but you desperately want to save yourself more, and Deraya doesn't look like she wants to be saved. You make a feeble attempt going over to her and trying to grab her around the waist to get her out of here, but she kicks you hard in the chest. Oh, her steel-toed combat boots send you flying, and it's once again 0 days since you've last broke your ribs. As used to this pain as you are, it still takes you a second of lying on the floor in agony before you can push yourself up to look back at the food court. A wall of fire now separates you from the tables inside. You can't even see Deraya anymore. Your heart sinks. Maybe she'll come to her senses and pull herself up out of danger and escape through the caved-in roof. Maybe she'll get out some other way. You stumble to your feet, half thinking that maybe you can find water or a fire extinguisher in some part of this mall that isn't burning up, but smoke chokes your lungs, and in your panic, your human survival instincts take over. You dash down the escalator as mall infrastructure starts to crumble around you, and you don't want to abandon Deraya, but it's all you can do to get your own sorry self out of there alive. That one takes a turn real fast, real wicked fast, that one there. Alright! Bad one's done. Now we know to get the fucking good one again. This one's this one's not really even like a feel-good, really part. It's like it's best at neutral, I guess. I like the music there. Alright, party on. Party hard, Deraya. Hi, Chahut. How you doing? Yeah, you're kind of scary. Let's get going. Alright, let's wander the streets like the hoodlums we are. Here's the thing. Your weirdest and best adventures have happened to you when you've decided to be spontaneous and just let shit happen. Trademark. Adventures and coolness are both hard things to plan, after all. So what are you suggesting? That we just wander? Is there anything more punk than just wandering the streets? Not giving a shit? Her derisive tone makes you hesitate, but, well, yes, that's exactly what you're suggesting. Deraya gives you a long, considering look. You hold your breath, then she shrugs. Okay, whatever, sure. Not like I have anything better to do. Let's just go. Wander. You meander through the well-maintained cerulean streets, heading downtown. This seems like a good opportunity to get to know your new potential friend, so you start asking her some fairly simple questions. How am I? Gee, I don't know. I'm forbidden to leave the stupid caverns, and as a Jadeblood, all I have to look forward to is a life of being forbidden to do things. How do you think I am? Okay. Okay. You try to walk that one back a little bit. It sounds like Deraya is unsatisfied with the Jade Blood setup. That's one way to put it. You could also say that I'm unsatisfied with, like, the whole setup of my species. How would you rate your species? You've been here for a while now. Don't tell me you haven't noticed that every part of our society is transparent bullshit. You glance around, because Deraya is right. You've been around for a while, and that means you know enough to know, fucking hell, that if the wrong people overheard this kind of talk, you'd both get cold on the spot. But everyone here seems distracted by their own nonsense. Cautiously, you can see that, yeah, you've noticed a certain bullshit aroma. Yep, it all stinks. No one has any kind of real future except for the highest of the high bloods. And actually, I've heard that things pretty much suck for them, too. Some might say that purple bloods are the most disprivileged class of them all. You're going to continue not comment on that one. I'm just going to keep brushing that one under the rug, putting it in the closet and not addressing it, pushing it to the side, leave it on the back burner perpetually, indefinitely. You're just going to continue not commenting on that one. Instead, you point out that being a Jade Blood, Deraya has a purpose beyond just growing up to become fodder in the Imperial Army, like you've heard other trolls mention. Surely that counts as a real future? Ugh, don't get me started. Don't get me started. Oh, I'm started now. Suffice to say, I'm not exactly hype about the purpose that I supposedly have. More like the purpose that was arbitrarily assigned to me. But it's not like I have a choice, and rebelling in any sort of real way would put me in danger of a culling. Life here is pretty much just hopeless. Damn, you wish you had a good counter-argument. You want to give her some words of comfort, but what can you even say? Daraya's right. Shit's grim, yo. Shit's on fire, yo. Nah, at least you're honest. Thanks for not bullshitting me. You know, Lynera said that you were good to talk to about real stuff. I guess she was right. That's, You're surprised that Lynera is going around talking about you, saying positive things even. But you're more surprised that Deraya is bringing her up in a non-derisive context. You didn't know that Deraya and Lynera were close? Ugh, no, gross. I hate Lynera. And not in a romantic way. Or, well, anyway, never mind. Deraya looks embarrassed and flustered and also pissed at you. At least you've gotten the subject away from how hopeless everything is. But still, you don't want this friendship to sour. As you're scanning your useless brain for a tactful subject change, you're saved by the footsteps of a new troll approaching. Oh, a new challenger approaches. Tydeus! And as luck would have it, you know this troll. It's Tydeus. Which makes sense because your meandering has taken you and Deraya close to Tydeus' favorite book hive. Oh. It's you. What are you doing here? Never mind, I don't even need to ask. You're obviously making friends with this Jade Blood. Searching for some dumb shit to do, no doubt. Don't let me keep you. Tydeus looks just as exhausted as you remember. You don't want her to go just yet because it's been a while since you've seen her, and you're always eager for an opportunity to catch up with a friend, especially one of the less murderous ones. True. Then you notice Deraya eyeing Tydeus' mug of unidentifiable liquid, and an idea occurs to you. You get excited, bouncing a little on the balls of your feet as you introduce Tydeus and Deraya to each other. You explain to Tydeus with a meaningful look that you hope she'll interpret correctly, that you and Deraya were just conversing about the more unjust aspects of Altarian society and how hopeless everything seems to be. Give her the eyebrow wiggle. What do you mean, the more unjust aspects? Does Alternian society have aspects that are not unjust? I'm sweeps into studying our legal system, and I haven't found any. Deraya makes a muffled sound that could be a laugh. You make your meaningful look more meaningful. More eyebrow waggles. Doesn't Tydeus remember that conversation she had with you about justice and the shitty system? The importance of possibly futile work to try and improve things someday? Pissing? I'd like to just add it, like tacking that last bit on there, just like make you sound like a real fucking lunatic. Tydeus squints at you, then takes a long slurp from her mug. Right. Yeah, I remember. You wave your hands around. Now we're talking. Tydeus is one of the few friends you've made that seemed to not only notice that shit was fucked, but wanted to dedicate herself to unfucking the shit as much as she could. Of course, many of your dear friends try to make the world a little better in various clumsy, interpersonal, distinctly Alternian ways. You think of Chixie striving for her music even when it pits her against Hyblids, the baffling but sweet ways that Keneal and Asdaja and Gallic and Tagora care for each other, and Fozer's commitment to political... Wait, why did you think of that guy? He's a total shill for the Condesce. That's a fucking... I really like that. I like that a whole lot. Anyway, moving on. Tydeus has a big picture mentality and a cause that she believes in, and the simple fact that she hasn't yet completely given up is inspiring. Deraya is struggling with feelings of despair, so maybe Tydeus could talk to her about the work that she's been doing. What? No, I'm not struggling. It's whatever. I don't even care. Deraya kicks to the ground sulkily. Tydeus looks her over, her eyes lingering on the jade symbol on her shirt and her spiky black jewelry, then sighs.
Sure you don't care. I went through a phase of telling myself that too. I thought it would make it easier to deal. But nah.
Tydeus paused for another mug slurp, and you think she might be enjoying the opportunity to monologue a little bit. Deraya huffs.
The only thing that helps, and I'm not even sure that helps is the right word for it, is finding something to work on in your own little corner. To try and make shit a little less...
But there's nothing I can do in my corner. It's pointless to pretend otherwise. And that goes for everyone. Like, this whole system is designed to help Highblood stamp out dissent in every corner. One troll can't do anything against something like that. Tydeus' eyebrow twitches as she stares at Deraya, clearly peeved at being interrupted. This could be going better.
Well, no shit. What do you take me for? I'm not saying that all it takes is standing up and fighting for what's right or something stupid like that. That's obviously a surefire way to get culled.
Well, then what are you saying? How can you even know? They have the same fucking voice, and I apologize. My range is not good. How can you even know? Whatever piddly little action you're taking will change anything?
I can't tell you the future, dumbass. No one can give you a guarantee that any kind of action taken will be ultimately effective. You have to decide for yourself what it's worth, or that it's worth it to try anyway.
Why would you think it's worth it when everything around us confirms that nothing will ever change? I can't believe you're calling me a dumbass when that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Tydeus looks like she's about ready to throw the contents of her mug in Daraya's face. Knowing trolls, she'd probably follow up with the mug itself. This is not the conversation you'd hope for at all. You step in before things can get any more heated. You tell Tydeus that you're sorry, and that you didn't flag her down just so she could have her ideas shit on. You turn to Deraya, who is staring at both of you with a defiant look on her face and a stubborn set to her jaw. This kid, she's just so dead set on rebelling against anyone who tries to tell her anything with even the faintest whiff of authority. You really thought that maybe all that attitude could be channeled into something productive that would also help her feel better and possibly even give her a sense of purpose. You're not mad, just disappointed. Again, full dad mode. Don't give me that look, okay? I was just stating my opinion. But I guess I could have been less of a bone bulge about it. You're pleasantly surprised that Deraya more or less apologized. Tydeus looks mollified too. This just makes me so angry. Angry and sad and helpless. Like I don't even know what to do with myself when I really have to think about it.
Bingo. Unfortunately, I feel the same way. I don't think there's any getting around the helplessness. But what I was trying to say is that working on something that might help fix things someday makes that feeling a little less powerful.
So what you're saying is that it's just about making yourself feel better?
Well, when you put it like that, it sounds bad. I believe I'm working on things that might affect change someday, even if I'm not around to see it. But also, yeah, most of the time it helps me sleep at night too.
You can tell that Deraya is a bit disappointed by this. Like she doesn't trust that political rebellion can go hand in hand with making the rebels feel good about themselves. You point out that whether or not Tydeus feels good about her work doesn't make the work itself any less effective.
Yeah, in the end, the universe doesn't care about how I feel. I'm just one troll trying to do the right thing. Or at least the okay thing. For its own sake, even if it might ultimately be futile. What the fuck else are we gonna do on this bitch of an Alternia?
You've got me there. I'm bored all the time, there really isn't anything cool to do down in the caverns. I guess during the downtime in my training I could, help you out maybe? Not that I have anything to offer other than the book hive and the jade cloisters.
Access to that might really help with my research, actually. Give me your number and we can talk.
Is it just your imagination, or does Tydeus look a smidgen less tired? The bags under her eyes less baggy, and her back a little straighter, and you think the corners of Daraya's lips might be very slightly quirked up. Deraya turns her possibly a smile from Tydeus to you. This was cool, I guess. Or at least not so bad. But I don't know if it counts as something cool. So I guess we could keep hanging out until more shit happens. You know Deraya well enough by now to recognize this for the ringing endorsement that it is. You're about to happily agree when Tydeus pipes up. I'm just heading home from studying, but I'm not tired yet. If you wanted a third wheel to drag along. Yay! I did it again! 3-way friendship combo bob victory. Combo bob, combo bobo. Okay, we're gonna go to the fucking menu right now. Like I said, I sick and tired to fucking record this today, because apparently my laptop is now having the same problems it did with Doki Doki Literature Club. I used to just capture the display, and it used to be fine. It would just capture the display. If you notice there's a little bit lag on this one, it's because I had to change it over to capturing a game capture now, which apparently fucked with it. I don't know what the deal is with that, but when I was capturing the display, it was smooth, relatively smooth. It worked fine, but it did it with Doki Doki Literature Club last week. It did it with this week's episode of Friendsim. So clearly I was captured the game video. I like that one a lot. It was full dad mode, pretty much the entire fucking thing. Just like, yeah, no, just dealing with a moody kid for the most part, but it was a good one, and it helped. It kind of just showed more like, I don't know, that there are trolls that just don't fucking like it, and they just feel trapped, which is a feeling I think a lot of people, myself included, have felt. If you feel trapped, I feel trapped now, currently, actually. But yeah. I hope you guys like this. We're gonna call it a video. Thanks for watching, everybody. If you liked it, make sure you click the like button down below. Let me know what you guys did like it. Just a way to let me know. Subscribe. New video every Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. Only got three, whatever. Take your pick. Three. Take your pick. New Friendsim videos coming out. Doing Nikki next week. I'm excited about that. Share with your friends. I know a few people said they were going to share them with their friends, share them on your other websites. I really appreciate that. That's awesome. I love the fact that some of you guys are want to help grow this community and help us propel us into the future, because that is awesome. I love that. So yeah, if you keep sharing with your friends, keep growing the community, and so we can all just get together and talk about this. And speaking of talking about it, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about Deraya, about my terrible range in voices. And I hope you guys let me know. I hope you guys watched Doki Doki Literature Club last week. I know that's not nearly as popular as Friendsim on this channel, but I had fun with it, and I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. But let me know what you guys think about this. I'm still looking for game suggestions. Funds are a little tight right now, so I can't really afford anything too expensive. But yeah, I'm still making a list, and I'm not checking it twice. Well, I'm checking it every time I add new things to it. Yeah, and I hope you guys stopped by the stream last week. I'm recording this before I'm streaming, so I don't know how many of you actually showed up and talked to me, but I hope you guys stop by, just say hi. And yeah, I'm gonna call it there. I'm rambling again. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hope to see you next time. Later.